are so many badly designed cards in Clash Royale. And by bad design, I mean that they're either rock, paper, scissors, as in, if there's their counter, they're absolutely useless, but if there isn't, they're completely broken, or they're very hard to balance, either broken or trash. So in this video, we'll be looking at the most unbalanced cards in Clash Royale. Number 1 is the Fisherman. So, normally you'd expect a card to counter something specific like buildings, maybe win conditions, supports, but what if I told you Fisherman counters an entire archetype, beatdown, for only 3 elixir? You invalidate your opponent's defense, for example, especially with Royale Giant, they try to put a P.E.K.K.A. Nope, I'ma just pull that towards me, and congratulations, you can't defend against my win condition. But against Cycle? Well, Fisherman just becomes a much weaker knight for 3 elixir, because he will just keep pulling some goblin after skeleton, so he becomes useless against a cycle, but against beatdown, he's absolutely dominates. That's why whenever there's a beatdown meta, he's automatically top 10 cards. Similarly, we find the Mother Witch. Graveyard and cycle players are forced to use Fireball just so that she doesn't convert their push to a counter push. Otherwise, again, against beatdown, she does absolutely nothing because of her very low damage output. Number 3 is the Battle Healer. There were so many concepts in the past, especially in 2016, about a healer card from Clash of Clans. Basically, she would just sit back, do absolutely nothing, and when there's a friendly troop, just start healing. And Clash Royale was like, nope, that doesn't fit the game. We need some fast-paced stuff. So, in 2019, they surprisingly broke their own rules of not releasing any heal card by releasing Battle Healer after releasing a heal spell in 2017. And as balanced as she sounds, she's actually not, because for every hit, she heals herself and nearby troops. So that means she punishes defense, one of the most important things in Clash Royale, because let's say you have a stupid E-Golem push with Battle Healer. Your opponent places something like, I don't know, Dark Prince or Knight to defend. The Battle Healer starts beating him up and healing the Elixir Golem. So she said, no, don't you dare defend, which contradicts the rules of Clash Royale. She also has the whole hard to balance issue. Now she is literally F tier, but in this clip where she got buffed, you can see players just cheesing and playing her everywhere. She's still unbalanced even after they removed her passive healing mechanic. Back in the day, she used to slowly recover health after not getting damage. It was like Brawl Stars or any other fighting RPG game, something like that. Number 4 is the Elixir Golem. We can already detect a flaw just by the name. Why should a card affect Elixir in general? Introduced in October 2019 as a high-risk, high-reward card, it was a low-risk, high-reward card because for 3 Elixir, you had stats of a Golem for a 3 Elixir card, and yeah, you only gave the opponent Elixir after they killed like those tiny blobs at the end. Now it sucks way too hard. It is a D tier card. The problem is the high risk, high reward part makes the games feel just extremely unbalanced. If you get lucky with the push, you basically 3-crowned your opponent, GG's, you didn't have counter skill issue. But if they end up stopping your push, you just gave them 4 elixir for free, and giving them an even bigger counter push, and then you just get 3-crowned. So it's either you 3-crown or they 3-crown, because, I don't know, it's a very weird card in concept. Even if you try to reduce the given elixir and reduce the HP, you just lowered the risk and the reward, so you technically didn't change anything. And this card, when it becomes good, it just creates extremely toxic metas, because you just get Golem in the back, Battle Healer, some more support cards shoved with this abomination. Clash Royale is normally based on out-trading your opponent. You should keep getting positive elixir trades so that you can always have an elixir advantage. This card gives your opponent elixir, so it's not out-trading, it's just shoving a lot of cards behind this guy and hoping for the best. So it's just a gamble. And I don't think gambling should be in Clash Royale, which is meant to be a strategic card game. Number 5 is the Elixir Collector, or better known as E-Pump. In Clash of Clans, it works fine. It gives you Elixir, which is a resource of the game, like gold and stuff. But in Clash Royale, it's very weird. For 6 Elixir, you get a building that does nothing on offense or defense, but gives you 8 Elixir if it manages to survive. So, if your opponent has some sort of earthquake or lightning or big spell in general, you're cooked, because you're just gonna stay with 7 cards because of how useless this card becomes. So that's already a rock paper design. And if your opponent has nothing against it, well, consider yourself lucky, because you're about to have a continuous elixir advantage and you won't need to outtrade or calculate elixir. Also, this card ruins, as I said, the elixir calculus that should be in Clash Royale. Because one player, for some reason, gets to cheat by generating more elixir than the opponent, which is inherently not good. This card also suffers from the hard to balance. Now it's actually a D tier card, very niche, seen in the extremely outdated 3 Musketeer decks, which don't fit the fast-paced Clash Royale of today. Back in 2016, it had an 80% use rate because it was 5 elixir and always guaranteed positive elixir trades and used to appear in your starting hand. So entire games were skewed around who would get the pump first. That's why this
Number
card
6 is a Barbarian
cannot work
Hut.
in Clash Royale.
Alt and Huntington, please don't attack me. I know y'all disappointed, but this card is so weird because as 6 elixir, it gives you 3 barbarians every 14 seconds, so 6 barbarians in total if we count the death barbarian, and it's extremely slow and clunky, and the barbarians die to splash damage very fast, and they can't keep up with the fast win conditions of today, and most of the time, yeah, they don't even catch anything. It's always known as the worst card in the game. But when it used to be good, the game becomes bad. That's it. Barb Hut is good, game is bad. Because in one of its primes, in every single prime, it would just cause the game to be extremely slow, clunky, defensive, even worse than defensive X-bows and mortars. And fun fact, Barbarian Hut has half the hit points of what it used to have in its prime. From 1900 to only 900. And of course, Clash Royale gave up balancing this card. They tried a rework from 7 to 6 elixir and then just gave nerfs that really didn't justify the reduced elixir cost. So,
And
Barbarian
now for
Hut
the
will
most
always
unbalanced
remain the
card in
worst
Clash
card in the
Royale,
game, but
it is not
beloved
the
by
Electric
many.
Giant, it is not the E-Barbs, it is not the Mega Knight, it is not the Firecracker, it's actually Mirror. Of course it has to be the Mirror. Already, although it's just an epic card, it's like the most unique card because it's not even a card. It's not a building, not a spell, not a troop. It just copies your last play for an extra elixir and extra level. The problem is, this card really heavily suffers from the whole hard to balance problem. It either sucks or is too broken. And when is it broken? When there's another card that's broken, because this thing just copies stuff. So when there's a broken card, Mirror is automatically one of the best cards. I can state so many examples. Night Witch Mirror, Phoenix Mirror, Goblin Machine Mirror, E-Giant Mirror, Earthquake Mirror, flippin' there's just so many toxic mirrors, metas, just when a card becomes way too good, and I'm expecting that with the new legendary that's going to be released. So the problem with Mirror is that when it's good, it's actually broken because there's another broken card, and alone it sucks. In April 2022, they made it so that it would just mirror the cards 2 levels higher, so we got the Giant Skeleton Mirror, E-Giant Mirror, which was literally undefendable, Earthquake Mirror, which used to deal 1,000 damage to the crown towers, literally. So this card just doesn't contribute to any good to the game. It's just there as a cheese card, and it has absolutely no purpose. Because when would you want to do a play again? Let's say Mini P.E.K.K.A. against Giant, you're good. What are you gonna do with another Mini P.E.K.K.A.? Counter, flippin'
Goblin Giant, for some reason he'd be running those in the same deck. And even the extra level is not good because an extra elixir is definitely just bad. Because any card that gets its elixir cost increased, even if it's monk on release, becomes garbage. That's it for the video. You can get lost now. Subscribe.